Good morning. It's just a little before 7 on Thursday, the 16th of July, the last day. 13 and a half miles out to the car, Route 27, cold beer or whatever Kim is bringing, fine dinner in town, all stuff to look forward to. So Kim did warn me it was going to get cool last night. She said the forecast was 48, and maybe that was accurate down below in the flat, or at least the lowlands. It's not really flat, I suppose. Anyway, up here, the campsite, Spaulding campsite, lean-to, is over 3,000 feet in elevation. So when I got up this morning, it was 42. And that's near my limit. I was wearing, in addition to my regular sleeping fleece, my hanging around camp fleece, and try to stay warm. And I did stay warm. Then packed up. Got up a little early, 5 o'clock, got packed up as quick as I could, which is about the same hour that I've been managing on this trip. And then started climbing to warm up. You know, fingers didn't get really numb, but they were getting there. Anyway, so it's now, as I said, a little before 7, and we're at the top of Spaulding Mountain. Well, we're not at the top. We're as high as the trail goes on Spaulding Mountain. There is a spur trail that goes 150 yards to the top, but the top is wooded, the guidebook tells me, so there's no point in going there. We're back to blue skies. It's a good thing. And so there are about 6 hikers in camp last night. 1 in the shelter, 5 tented out, and me tarped and hammocked out, which I would consider to be a normal number. But out of this trip, there were only 2 days that had a normal number, I guess. Anyway, we're going to down for a while. And in 7/10 of a mile, we're going to come to a bronze plaque, apparently, that marks the spot where the last section of trail was completed, to complete the Appalachian Trail, Maine to Georgia. So we'll definitely, assuming we spot it, take a shot of that, maybe talk about it some. We began our day at Spaulding Mountain Lean-To. We then continued north on the AT over Spaulding Mountain and a shoulder of Sugarloaf Mountain. We then descended down to the Carrabassett River and then began our ascent of Crocker Mountain, passing the South Peak and the North Peak, and then there'll be a long descent down to Maine Route 27. The profile map looks like this, down to the Carrabassett River and up over Crocker Mountain, and then down and down to Route 27. It's 8:15, and we have come to a junction with a side trail that goes up to the summit of Sugarloaf Mountain, from which there would be, I'm pretty sure, pretty tremendous views. There's been a debate going back and forth in my head since the planning stages of this hike as to whether I could get up there. The sign says 5/10. The guidebook says 6/10 of a mile up there. We've come just under 3 miles today in a little over 2 hours. We've got 10.6 miles to go, and we've got like 8 hours to get there. Going up and back would take an hour. What with the time lollygagging at the top. So unfortunately, crunch time is here, and I'm not going to go up there. Sorry about that. We have the hard work of the day ahead of us still to go over the Crockers. So, and it would be nice, because they're big mountains, if there'd be views up there, but the guidebook is telling me views are strictly limited, but I guess we'll have to settle for what we get. Well, so, next feature is Caribou Valley Road, 2.3 miles, and that's all downhill. This is the Carrabassett River. We got here about 9:45, and it's about 10 after 10 now. We filtered some more water and diddled and enjoyed the sunshine and view of the river. So we have now at this point 2.2 miles to go to the first peak of Crocker, with a 1,700-foot elevation gain. So we'll see how long that takes us. And we've got 8.4 miles to do all together to get to Route 27. So this river is easily crossable. There's some big rocks and a 2x10, which is anchored, so it won't go away. Welcome to the summit of South Crocker. Whew. Back down at Carrabassett River, I calculated a time to get here based on a speed for the ascent at 1 mile an hour, and that worked out to be about 20 after 12 to get here, and I beat that by 10 minutes. It's 10 after 12. So that's pretty much been my speed on the major ascents on this section of trail, which isn't a bad speed. It's just the speed that it is. Okay, so I was really not expecting a view here. And I guess really there shouldn't be a view here, except for the fact that someone in violation of leave no trace ethics has cleared out a bunch of trees, which I'm not going to complain about. Okay, I don't know if any of this is going to be readable at all. We are, by the way, at 4,010 feet. North Crocker Mountain is a mile from here, and we have about a 300-foot descent and then a 500-foot ascent to get there, covering a mile. I said that, I think. And then it's going to be another, roughly 5 miles downhill to Maine Highway 27, and hopefully a cold beer. So it is 10 minutes after 1, and we have reached the peak of North Crocker. So about 50 minutes to do that mile. And, well, we're not pushing too hard. My feet hurt a little bit. I actually have a blister, which I haven't had in a long time. I had to stop and think of what to do about it. I put some duct tape on it. That seems to help. So if you do the math on the signs, I think there's a discrepancy of 0.2 of a mile, maybe 0.3 between, this is distance to Route 27. But here it says 5.2, which I think agrees with the current guidebook. Doesn't really matter much. So, and that's all downhill. Well, there might be a little bump here and there, but we got a long ways to go down. So the ETA I gave Kim was 4 to 5. 5 miles, 3 hours, be there 4. Yeah, maybe a little sooner, depending on the terrain. And that's that. We're winding it up. Well, I finally arrived at Route 27 at about 10 minutes of 4, so just a little ahead of my ETA. But of course my wife was here waiting for me anyway. That was a long descent off of North Crocker. 5 miles, no features to tell you where you are really until you get here. So, that's the trip. Thanks for watching.